Oh yeah, baby. You know, in all of the FPS world, there's only one game that starts out like that. And it is Titanfall. Hey, what's going on, guys? TBL here, bringing you some Titanfall 2 tech test multiplayer action on the PlayStation 4. That's right, the multiplayer beta is live, or alpha, or pre-alpha, or really whatever you want to call it. It's live for the weekend, and we are getting some quality time in on Titanfall 2, and I could not be happier. That's right, Respawn went and unleashed an open pre-alpha test to sort of stress test their game servers and see what things need to be fine-tuned before the game launches officially on October 28th. And that means we have the entire weekend to be playing Titanfall, and I have been doing just that. And I've got to say, I'm really enjoying myself on it thus far. It's definitely a lot to get used to. I haven't played a shooter this fast in quite some time, but I've really been enjoying my time on Titanfall, and I'm glad to see the game finally on the PlayStation 4. So let's talk a little bit about it. As you can see here, I'm playing the Pilot v Pilot game mode. It's a pretty simple but frantic game mode that's the closest thing you can get to a classic TDM. It's got no Titans, no NPCs, no AI, just player v player combat. It's a game mode that was kind of made in response to one of the criticisms of Titanfall 1's multiplayer mode, in that there was no real non-Titan game mode that you could play in, where you just had to rely on your own skill as a player, and not, you know, the giant Titans with their awesome weaponry and whatnot. So Respawn has added this mode in. And it's pretty good. It's really fast-paced. Ooh, as I pick up that nice little two-piece there. But it's really fast-paced, which was something I had to get back to being used to after playing Destiny for so long, which is a slower, more methodical shooter. But Pilot v Pilot is a great game mode. I'm having a lot of fun with it thus far. And there are two other game modes that you can play in. One is Bounty, which is kind of like the old-school attrition, at least in that it has NPC characters that you'll be fighting alongside and against, and the Titans are of course enabled in that mode. And you're really supposed to go around and destroy NPCs that spawn at specific sites and make a bunch of money and then like deposit the money, and then certain players who are on high kill streaks will be turned into high value target bounties, and then you take them out for even more points. It's a lot going on, but it's really fun, and it's a great team game. And then we've got Amped Hardpoint, which works like the classic Hardpoint game mode. You just go around with your squad and capture and hold points. It's also really fun. So those are the three game modes you got for this pre-alpha stress test, and I would definitely recommend that you play all three. They're really fun. Now, I was planning on uploading some of the Bounty and Amped Hardpoint footage that I have recorded, but those matches go on way too long. Some of the Bounty matches go for 20 minutes plus, and that is just a little bit too long for one of my standard commentaries. So I settled for this Pilot v Pilot gameplay where I did pretty well. It took me a little while to get used to some of the new class abilities, as you've seen a couple of times in this video already. One of the new things you have when you pick your character is specialized characters who can do specialized actions. The one I'm on right now can throw a grappling hook that can allow you to tether objects and climb up them or swing around them. And yes, it's exactly as silly and fun as you want it to be. You can also grapple onto Titans and other players, and either pull yourself to them or pull them to you in some cases. As you can see here, I was trying to test it out, hooking onto the building, seeing if I could Indiana Jones my way around it. It definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, especially with Titanfall's built-in mantling and like parkour system, but once you've got the hang of it, moving around the world is smooth, and that's something that's always been of paramount importance in the Titanfall franchise. Well, and really, I'm happy to say that that hasn't changed, at least with the test here of Titanfall 2. The movement system here is nearly flawless. It's so easy to maneuver around the environments that it's probably going to make it hard for me to go back to games like Destiny, where I'm not going to be able to mantle to everything and swing across buildings. The boosting and double jumping system from Titanfall 1 of course also makes a return, and it feels very similar to Advanced Warfare actually, although that's not a bad thing. The grappling and movement system in this game definitely makes the gameplay very fast. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's a very fast-paced game. But unlike Advanced Warfare, things don't feel cluttered, at least to me. One of the biggest problems in Advanced Warfare for me was the frenetic movement just had you all over the place all the time, and the maps were really too small to make efficient use of that. It just felt cramped with way too much going on at one time. Ooh, and check this out, I grapple this man and boom! Falcon kick. That's the kind of stuff I'm loving about this game. The fact that you can grapple onto people and pull them over to you Scorpion style. Get over here! It all just mixes in so well for such an awesome, fun experience. The amount of things you can do with your characters in this game, in an FPS game, it's really astounding. And again, there's a bunch of different new classes that you can pick to play as. They all have different abilities. Like the class I'm on, which is a grappler, there's a soldier class that can send out like a clone of himself, just doing whatever it is you're doing at the time. So if you're sitting in a corner, that clone will sit in that corner. If you're running forward, the clone will run forward. It's meant to be sort of a thing you can use to lead and trap your enemies, and it's great. There's another class that gives you a stim, which allows you to heal faster and run faster for a short period of time, which is kind of something that was in Titanfall 1. And then there's another class that gives you like these kunai that you throw, and they send out a pulse that allows you to see all of the enemies that are in that general area. It's super cool, and that's the class that you're going to be seeing a lot of people playing on. Like I said before, there's a lot to the game, which is good because my one biggest complaint about Titanfall 1 is that it's this big Olympic-sized swimming pool that looks awesome. The problem is, the pool's only 2 feet deep. Titanfall 1 had a lot of great ideas. It had really great gameplay, like immaculate gameplay, way better than Advanced Warfare if you ask me. It had everything it needed to be an amazing first-person shooter, but it just didn't have the content to keep people around for longer than a month, and that's why you saw the player numbers for that game drop very shortly after its release. It was supposed to be the COD killer. I know we've heard that term a bunch of times in the past, but with the staff that was working on Titanfall 1 being, ex-Infinity Ward, it had a real chance to be the thing that could pull people away from COD, and it definitely had the gameplay, it definitely had the idea. The Titans are awesome to play as, the game was just really fun, it just didn't have enough there to really get the game up on its feet and get it a long-lasting audience. And it looks like Titanfall 2 is definitely going to be addressing that problem. The multiplayer looks like it's going to have a lot more to it. And of course we know the game's got a single-player mode coming too, which hopefully is going to be a lot better than Titanfall 1's story mode, if you can even really call it that. But alright guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this gameplay. We are in the epilogue here. We've already won the match, and as you guys know with Titanfall, winning the match doesn't end the game. You have a little bit of an epilogue there where you have to stop the enemy team from escaping on their ship. I was trying to hunt down a couple of the enemy team snipers over in this corner, wound up getting blasted, so I had to sit out the epilogue. But hey, a win is still a win. But alright, this has pretty much been a quick roundup of my initial impressions of the pre-alpha for Titanfall 2. Again, it's a ton of fun. There's some things that I like, there's some things that I don't like. I'll probably be covering that in another video very soon. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Are you playing Titanfall 2? Are you enjoying it? I know I am. And would you guys like to see some more gameplay of the pre-alpha tech test? Be sure to let me know. Overall, we wound up going 21-9, which is not too bad at all if you ask me. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get back to playing me some more of this awesome game. And as always, guys, I am the Black Link. You guys stay frosty, and stand by for Titanfall.